What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Alien, the tabletop RPG. I am joined by this amazing cast and crew of the On Tilt as they take to the stars and try to avoid torture and trauma, unless they're causing it. Poor Jeff. Anyway, in our last episode, the Intrepid Heroes. Heroes. They did a little recon and discovered that a potential new boss has entered the fray, a Mr. De Laurentiis. They did some cool shenanigans, set a robot on autopilot, waterboarded someone, and just caused general mayhem.
I forgot about the waterboarding. Oh my god.
Jeff didn't.
And I mean,
No,
Jeff
will never
did
forget about
not.
that ever again.
Yeah, all for a business card. You could have just asked.
Jeff deserved it. Come on.
He had it coming.
So, with all of that being said, when we left off, all of your characters had gone on basically a spending spree using Jeff's corporate business card, bought all kinds of good stuff for the ship and yourselves, a few personal items. I think Deacon got some snacks for the road. You know, I want to say there was talk of getting a new Mr. Coffee machine for the ship. So yeah, that's a good time. We're gonna pick up the episode with all of you basically getting back on the ship. You know, the hatch has come down, so you can get back up on there. Let me put on our lovely. That's so
spooky.
All right, all of you get back on the ship. Here, I'll put it on something a little more less spooky. You all get back on the ship. Phoebe, you've been holed up in your quarters for a while, just kind of doing Phoebe things. Would you like to tell everyone what you've been up to this whole time since you weren't able to make it last episode?
Yeah. These are Phoebe things is the way to put it. So basically she's been kind of holed up in her room on tilt, more or less going crazy, but like in kind of the best way that she can possibly go about it. So she's been rewatching the clip of like the medical room over and over and over and over again, trying to like not necessarily replay it just cause, to actually pinpoint like what she could have done better and like what actually caused everything, things of that nature. She's been going through Kara's notes, printing them out, pasting them all over her room. Plenty of medical textbooks just kind of strewn all over the place. She's been kind of obsessing about literally all of it, and visibly, like, you guys can visibly see when you guys do see her again. She has not slept, like, at all. And for once, she is drinking some sludgy coffee from Mr. Coffee. So, yeah, she's just more or less trying to figure out how she can make this not happen again, basically.
Is this the like the serial killer note situation? Is that in her room or is that in one of the public areas of the ship?
No, this is in her room. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hasn't run out of wall space yet.
Yeah.
Not quite yet, but
when it starts creeping down the corridors, then we start to worry.
It's like it comes out the doors, starts like going both ways. Like,
like organically growing throughout the ship.
Who doesn't have an obsession wall, honestly?
Yeah. Yeah.
Meanwhile, Phoebe's like, I haven't written anything in weeks. It's just creating itself at this point.
She's like levitating, like in the middle of the room, like,
The notes have become their own sentient life form that's now
Yeah.
taking over the ship.
Oh, goodness.
but yeah, no, that's totally what she's been up to. Which I probably should have, and we can probably discuss a little bit more offline, Rumsey. But with that being said, potentially increasing her medical aid.
Mm-hmm.
Fingers crossed. But yeah, that's basically what she's been up to. She's kind of going insane, but trying to handle it in her own way.
Okay. So you've been sat in your room doing all of this and dealing with your trauma in your own way. And as you're scribbling a few more notes, you kind of get snapped out of your, hyper focus by the sound of the door coming down. So you now hear the crew is returning.
I think at that point, yeah, she'll probably try to take somewhat of a break and go to meet up with them, but also try to get some more coffee at the same time. So, because are they entering into like the break room, or is this just like in the I guess the front of the ship?
So the loading door is like towards the aft. It's in the back of the ship. So from like your quarters, you'd have to come out, like go down a hallway, and then so kind of think of like how the Firefly is set up a little bit, if you remember. So you kind of got to come down a corridor and then down like a flight of stairs, and then that splits into two.
Okay.
And it goes down to the storage area.
Would Phoebe recognize Liam?
Yeah, and I think at the end of that last episode, Liam had like cleaned up a little bit and made himself more presentable, and that was part of the shopping montage. And they actually have a gift for Phoebe as well. Once
Liam got a glow up.
Yeah, it's still rougher than maybe the last time you've seen him, but it wasn't near feral when you guys found him.
I think she's like with empty mug kind of in one hand and kind of just like rubbing at her eyes like, Liam?
And I think he has the gift, but it's not well wrapped. It's a trash bag with a bungee cord kind of wrapped around it, like a parcel.
Perfect.
That's awesome.
And very like, for someone so large, he's like kind of very like slowly and gingerly like, hi Phoebe, I got you something.
She kind of sort of grabs it like awkwardly just because there's like a mug in her hand and whatnot. It's like,
yeah. You don't have to open it now.
It's, like, it's so good to see you, but how did you get what?
Oh, I was working a job here, and you guys sounded like you could use another mechanic.
I think I need more coffee. I think I need more coffee. And then she's kind of like more or less like, I guess, with hands and trying to like usher you guys back into like the break room with her and whatnot. So like Liam, Susanna, and Deacon.
Yeah, I think as you kind of turn to usher us in, Liam kind of looks at Deacon, goes like, she looks kind of like fucked up. Like kind of that look of like, what the fuck?
You'd be the expert. Liam. What does Kara have to say on that subject?
What?
Nothing. We should talk about what we found out from Jeff. So
Well, we do have that phone number to ring at some point that we got
well,
off Jeff's.
before we do that, I think
Go
we. I'm sorry, but before we do that, I think we should talk about what we know, especially with what happened to Brooks. These eggs, or embryos, or black goo, is being transported in some super advanced synthetic humans, right? And we know that Mr. De Laurentiis is smuggling these androids, at least onto this station, probably using this as a hub to send it to multiple places. That would be how it showed up on the mining colony, I would expect. So we definitely need to figure out where he's getting it from and, put a stop to this.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me more.
Are you kind of saying that like as you're going into the break room?
Yeah, trying to fill you in specifically, Phoebe. You weren't there for the questioning.
Wait, so they're doing what now? You want a coffee? You guys want coffee?
Always.
And then
Yes, please.
she's making
This
3.
calls
Liam,
coffee.
Always.
4 cups coming up.
I go and retrieve teaspoons for everybody, just in preparation for the coffee pudding that's about to arrive.
Hot coffee pudding.
Blech.
It's an acquired taste.
Mhm.
No, and then as she's handing them out and whatnot, and she's starting to take her sip to try to like wake up a little bit more and not be so out of it. Can
the Mr. Coffee, like, it bubbles and it steams and it makes the noise that it normally does, and then like a thin strand of like coffee Play-Doh comes out, like starts filling up the mug or the
Ray!
crap.
That's so nasty.
Oh my god. The mental image I just had was like a nose dripping,
Oh,
like snot coming out of it.
that's even worse.
That's so bad.
The strand clings to the nozzle.
You gotta like wipe that part off to get it to.
Does it do like a
Oh,
froyo circle kind of thing?
I'd like to believe that it does.
It's basically just a cup of shit at this point.
That part. Oh no, this is vile. This crew is whacked, and this is the most whacked thing. Not what happened the last episode.
Well, this is meant to be a horror show. We know that much, right? Coffee
Oh,
poop emoji,
man.
indeed.
But yeah, Deacon, you want to run that by me one more time?
All right. Bad guy, Mr. De Laurentiis, we found out from Jeff, is smuggling synthetic androids that are almost perfect replicas of people that actually exist to various colonies, stations, and ports. And inside them, he's storing alien embryos and the black goo that was how me and Brooks got infected when we were investigating the one from the mining colony. And now we know it's this Mr. De Laurentiis that is doing the smuggling through a Shadow Corp, like hiring mercenaries. Definitely has a lot of big bucks behind him. Somebody else is obviously working with him on the corporate level to get this done.
Do we know where he is?
Currently, the docking bay of the station.
I believe so. That's where he was last we saw anyway. We do have a phone number for him that we took from, I guess, his 2IC's wallet. So we have got a way of contacting him. If we posed as potential employees or potential buyers, perhaps. I don't know.
I mean, would there be any chance of getting him here and questioning him about this other organization that he's working for?
I think Liam would kind of know because they've kind of done the odd job for this ship as it comes in and out of harbor. He's like, Mr. Laurentiis doesn't really leave the ship at all. Like, he won't even really come into town. It would have to be a call situation, but he doesn't really talk to anybody that wasn't, in that core circle.
I get the feeling he's relatively well protected where he is too.
Most likely.
Probably have to gain trust first.
How do we feel about potentially actually doing some jobs for him to work our way into the inner circle? I know that doesn't solve the problem as quickly as we'd like to, but I'm not sure if there is a way to do that.
I mean, I think it's the only way to really get reliable info. These guys take on contractors. I think it could be difficult to get a full picture, but we could definitely get a start. I know mechanics and science officers and Marines are always needed, so we kind of run the gambit for anything that they would be looking for.
That's true.
And we have a pretty much fully upgraded ship, which is nothing to scoff at.
Who scoffed? Who did? Waterboarding for everyone.
I think our next step, so we want to pose as potential workers, right? That's the kind of angle we're going at. I mean, we can also, work behind the scenes, try to sabotage what we can, without getting caught, of course. The ultimate goal being to reach De Laurentiis.
My concern about wanting to sabotage things is that the goo being transported in the androids is incredibly dangerous and needs to be approached very, very carefully. We also don't know all of the things that could possibly trigger a release. So if we intend to tamper with anything, we are running very large risks for our own personal safety. If you mean tamper with things or get in the way of things by way of misdirecting shipments or destroying shipments, that is perhaps a possibility. However, I do also question that if we do decide to try and destroy anything, could we potentially also accidentally release the agent in doing so? I think we need to be very sure of what we're doing before we take any risks here.
Yes, and I'm sure we don't want to get caught either before we achieve what our goal is.
Agreed.
I think we can learn where to hit them where it hurts most, the closer we are, without also causing catastrophe. I think Liam kind of looks around at using the word catastrophe, like, like big word usage.
So basically, we slowly but surely get close to this guy, this De Laurentiis. And we on top of that, trying to get more info happens, but ultimately he's one of those dudes that
you glitched out for me there. Did you glitch out for everyone else too?
Yeah, the audio's coming in a little rough.
Hit it with a hammer.
We just lost her.
Waterboard it.
It's your solution to everything now, isn't it, Susan?
Yeah, it works on electronics. Don't you know?
Who needs a DM anyway?
Oh,
welcome back, Ray.
While you were gone, we won.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing.
All right, then. Good
I've
game.
never seen
All
anything
right.
like that before, but
See you all
it worked.
next month. Merry Christmas.
You said my mic was going out though?
It's
You're
good
fine
now.
now.
Yeah,
Oh, okay,
a little
cool.
bit, but it's
All
good
right.
now.
Sweet. All right. No, she's just more or less kind of putting things together. Is more kind of speaking out loud of like, okay, so we get closer to this guy to eventually take him out, but also figure out who the bigger person is that we have to also take out. But ultimately, I want one of those android things alive.
Oh, I was gonna say there's a dead one in sickbay, but okay.
Yeah. Well, no, I thought we got rid of the
I think we
bodies and all that.
jettisoned.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we jettisoned all of that.
Damn.
But yeah, alive, if possible.
I have concerns about that. I agree with you that that would be very valuable information for us to have, but there is also significant risk if we take an android that has a sample of the black stuff within it.
Big risk, big reward.
Well, we know about the stuff that's inside it, right? I mean, just getting if we could get our hands on an empty one, that eliminates the risk to us, and we could still check out how it's meant to be deployed. Maybe how to identify these things when they're actually in operation, rather than some way to tell them from normal people.
So if we can find some way to establish not just where the androids are being produced, but at what stage of the production process they are being loaded up, so to speak, it is possible that we may be able to intercept one before it gets turned into a vector.
I think Liam has a thought and kind of stumbles on his way through it, but goes like, Are we good with also redirecting where they discharge their goo? Like, are we okay using the weapon they use on us on them?
Most definitely.
At least on De Laurentiis.
It depends how siloed he keeps his people. It could well be that they have factory workers and such who don't know what they're working on.
Okay.
I am all for unleashing hell on the people that deserve it. The question is figuring out who.
I just trying to find if we're going like eco-terrorist or investigator.
My ballpark is a little of both, but I would suggest we start with investigator.
Agreed.
Fourth did.
Oh, Liam, you can count now. That's all. That's cute.
When did that
What exactly
happen?
is your background, Liam? I really don't know much about you.
I am a handyman. I do just about any sort of maintenance work you can think of. Anything that needs
Okay.
heavy lifting as well.
Okay. And how does eco-terrorism come into that?
I am a fan of completing jobs. I think
I respect that.
I think the last bit of work we did together is already feeding into what we're doing now.
I respect that.
My next question, I guess, would be who's comfortable making the call?
I think I think Liam kind of goes a little dark as you ask the question, and he's like, I guess we need to find out if it's ignorance or complicity. One's forgivable, the other's not. And then I think he sits up and kind of grabs his stuff and goes like, where am I sleeping?
I think there's a room Next to my dad's. That's available now.
Oh yes, yeah. That sounds like a perfect place to sleep. I think he goes off to find I don't. He hasn't been on this ship, so I think he just walks down one direction of the hallway. And just,
Oh, well.
oh no, he has been on the ship. He's worked on it, so that's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
We did the whole repair montage, so he's probably intimately aware of the ship.
Yeah.
And goes to where he knows that James's quarters are.
It's the room with all the androgynous clothes.
Yeah, basically. Which is probably like, at least for Phoebe, like that's why, like normally I should have been like, yeah, follow me, like here it is, but she doesn't want to go into that room right now.
Which I don't think anybody cleared out.
Nope.
I think
So-
there
not.
was a thing where they were able to go in and pick up stuff because Susanna found the lab coat
That's
meant
true.
for
Yeah,
them.
that's
Yeah,
true.
but I
And
mean, like, I don't think anybody specifically said, okay, we're gonna like take all of their stuff and like pack it away and
Yeah.
No,
no,
I think
the room probably is still full of most of Brooks' stuff. Hey,
yeah. Brooks kind of, I think when I described their room, it kind of was like a stuffed closet or like almost like a laundromat kind of look to it. Like as far as they were organized, it's an organized laundromat, but it's still, there's very little open space.
no, they were big on fashion, so
Yeah.
Liam's
Mm-mm.
just like, don't need these out into the hall. Like,
No. I think are we kind of going where Liam is going? Do you want me to go where Liam goes in that room? Or...
no, that's fine. So Liam is more concerned with where he's going to sleep rather than making the phone call to De Laurentiis. So that leaves the three that were nose goes. Liam's like, you know what? Nope, I'm out.
I think Liam knows his strengths and like setting up a deal. I don't think it even crossed his mind that that would be his objective in it. You know, so he's just kind of like, oh, okay, like I'm about getting the heavy stuff lifted and words aren't that heavy. And just kind of picks up and walks down the hall.
above
That's
the table, we
solid.
don't really have a party face, do we? Because Susanna is more about scientific observation conclusions. She's about intellectualizing everything. And Phoebe's a teenager. I'm so sorry, but she's a teenager.
Yeah.
And Deacon? What about Deacon?
I shoot things. I just need to know where they are.
Yeah. So, who the fuck's making this phone call?
Chat, would you like to make this phone call for us?
Who's
How do
got a
you
high
make a phone
manipulation
call?
score?
Manipulation. Nope, I have nothing in that, and empathy is my dump stat. So I'd be rolling 3 dice for manipulation.
I roll 4 for empathy.
Where did my camera go?
Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to throw some random impossibility into this. Chat, I need you to make a die roll for me. So I need you to do exclamation mark D6.
Oh man. Tofu.
Tofu's over here being cray. Yeehaw.
Is it me? No, it's BB.
Yeah, it's definitely R.I.P.
R.I.P.
I'm sure you can compose a nice email. Doesn't have to be spoken.
So yeah, I got a lot of good rolls here. I got a CX and I got a 1. Both ends of the die spectrum. Love it. So while you all are trying to decide who's going to make this call, I'm going to say that to save you all the having to roll and botch this up and everything. The ship itself gets yeah, exactly. This right here. Right here. The ship itself basically gets a message. It's not really a email per se, but it's more like a message board kind of posting. This was something that was set up apparently by Darius. And it pops up. It's like a green screen, very plain text kind of thing. And basically, someone is looking for some help with logistics. And this someone just happens to be, go figure, Mr. De Laurentiis.
Well, that's convenient, isn't it?
It's almost like it was scripted.
So then he needs help with logistics?
He does. He has a few crates of items that he needs picked up and brought to this port.
This might be our opening.
The good news is the items that need to be picked up are on planet.
And we know that?
Yep, it's all in the
Little
message.
board? Okay.
Yep.
I think Liam has seen enough contracts to kind of look for what kind of conditions the cargo needs to be kept in. I think that would have to be available to see if it's something you could slap on like in a bay, or if it's something that needs to be climate controlled. Or
That's fair.
Catch.
So, Liam, go ahead and give me wits observation.
all right. Rolling 2 dice.
Doesn't look like anything to him.
Two dice means
I
less
mean-
chance of failure,
Got a
right?
6.
There it is. See?
Hey!
Nailed it. So as you're reading through, you see there is nothing about like climate control, temperature, static, anything like that. But you do see that there are some crates that are significantly large. It's like there's parts in there that basically recommend like team lift, possible power suit.
I have experience with power suits.
You do now. We don't have one available to us, unfortunately, though, unless we go back and nick one.
Yeah, I think Liam just relays that, been like, whoa, the big crates. Kind of looks around and he's like, is there like a price listed? Do we have to negotiate?
Do we have the equipment necessary for actually performing this job?
Yeah, we'd be able to use the community loader here, and that's pretty normal to use a bay's loaders at wherever you're at.
Okay.
So do we have to call to confirm that we are taking this job?
Oh, it's like an app. We'll be your Uber delivery driver.
Yeah, except
Perfect.
So it does say that there is a like a delivery reward, whatever, of $10,000.
Okay.
Okay. I think as this screen is kind of going through, I think everyone's kind of gathered around this screen, right? Like I imagine in that area. And then I think Liam kind of looks around, and as they go to accept the Uber lift, it pops up for like a ship designation that we had changed enough on the ship that we can change designation, essentially. And I think they kind of look around. They're like, well, what was it called before? Do you guys want to change it?
Sorry, what was what called before?
The ship?
Oh, the Rocinante was the first one, and and then this is on tilt.
Okay.
I mean, this has been called the On Tilt ever since we got it.
And I think they type in Brooks into the ship designation and kind of look around for approval. I think considering you guys lost a friend, maybe it's fitting that she's our most valuable weapon of getting back in this.
I like the way you think.
Yeah, serial killer.
And I think they type back with I forget what they're called, the ships, not HMS, but USS, something, Brooks. And
yeah, I
accept
forget
the
what.
job. Yeah, I forget.
USTM.
That's
Yeah,
what it was.
it is. All right. You get back a reply of, basically conditions met. You have 24 hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
It obviously gives coordinates and stuff.
It does. Yep.
Oh, I guess we take off unless there's anything else we need to prepare in advance.
What was that?
The mic broke up a little bit.
Oh, I guess we take off unless there's anything else we need to prepare in advance for this.
No, I mean, we got everything we need. We're kind of
Yeah.
prepped to go. Where's
Prepared to
Ash?
Mm.
Where is Ash?
Are you taking control of that, Ray? You got your NPC with us?
I'll say sure. We'll have Ash just kind of NPCing in the cockpit, or sorry, crew station. Oh, all right, that's not bad. So the ship, doesn't do anything fancy. No, super cool maneuvers, but it also doesn't shoot fireballs or anything like that. NPC Ash flies you to the coordinates. As you are heading over, it's going to take about 10 minutes to get to the location. Is there anything you all want to do in preparation for getting there?
I think Liam puts on his armor. I don't think he's fucking around. A big box, big creature, big box. Doesn't take too crazy of a jump to kind of get there.
Yeah, Susanna will do that too. But while she's in her room, she'll also set up her personal coffee equipment that she bought that she's not sharing with the rest of the crew. And she'll make this, she'll make us some decent coffee.
Nice. I guess Phoebe will open up her gift that she received from Liam. So
it's a new pair of boots.
Fantastic.
Yeah, boots are kind of valuable. It's one of those with like the high arches. I imagine it's kind of like nurses' sneakers, but for ships, in a way of like they're ergonomic. They won't allow seepage into your feet.
I'm gonna mark down nurse boots.
Nurse boots. I think they were
Yeah.
thinking of something you might need, and if you've been traveling for a while, maybe you wouldn't have picked up new boots.
Yeah.
That's really thoughtful, actually.
Yeah, hella thoughtful. So yeah, she throws them on, for sure, and then like probably like a light armor as well, and then kind of gathers up basically like a medical backpack of like all the stuff that she could think of possibly thrown in there, along with basically Kara's iPad, and then her own newly put together like chicken scratch notebook of her own gathered notes, if that makes sense. And she just wants to kind of give her dad a heads up like what they're gonna do, but just kind of respectfully asking them to stay on the ship with Ash.
Deacon will go full deck, just like everybody else. Got to look the part, fake it to make it, like Tofu said. And also, as a juxtaposition imagery, as soon as he finishes, clipping and putting away guns, knives, whatever, he then starts snuggling Cassiopeia.
Oh,
Aw, Cassiopeia. Let's see what.
Who hacked up a hairball earlier? So was that in Deacon's rooms? Will he have to clean that up?
absolutely.
Cassiopeia
If I don't see it.
starts making biscuits.
Aw.
Yeah, who's a good kitty? Good Cassiopeia.
Love it. All right. The ship approaches its destination, and it gets about 10, 15 meters away. The ship starts to slow down, coming about. It's getting ready to land and everything. And suddenly all of you feel the ship kind of rock to one side as it kind of dodges out of the way. And you hear a very loud, like rocket kind of noise go past the ship, followed by a intense explosion on the other side of the ship. Over the intercom, you hear Ash come over. We're taking fire.
Of course we
Oh,
are.
here I thought you were playing chicken again, Ash.
I think
Um,
Liam looks to Deacon about hey, you want to try the new gunning system we hooked up?
Do I?
Do I? All I can think of is Chowder when he's asking him. Chowder just keeps saying, "Do I? Do I?" Love it. All right.
Deacon will head to the station.
Yeah, you hop in and you can see down below. Basically, this is like kind of a rundown part of the city, like super rundown. And what initial appearances look like is there is a group of like very loose militia kind of characters going on, and they are surrounding a Cheyenne VTOL dropship. You can see all the crates are kind of like scattered out around it, and you can see like corporation logos and stuff, and they're loading up another RPG to fire at your ship. A few of them have like just normal rifles, and they're like shooting, but you're too high up for that.
Ping, ping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well.
So if Deacon's getting in the seat, I imagine there's some console maybe nearby where Liam can give assistance with some sort of calibration. I'm just making stuff up now as I go.
Fine-tune the targeting computer.
Click, clack, click, clack.
and Susanna would like to use her wits observation basically to keep an eye on viewfinders, screens, anything she can see that might give us any information that would be useful about what's going on around us.
Okay. So while you all are getting into position, Phoebe, I'll let you say what you're doing in just a second. James comes hauling ass out of his quarters and like flies up to the crew station. I mean, you see him like taking 4 or 5 steps at a time to get, he's getting there fast.
Gotta go fast.
Gotta go fast.
Yeah, Phoebe's gonna follow him.
So he goes into the crew station and basically like hip checks Ash out of the way. He sits down and he starts like flipping switches and stuff, and the ship like actually starts to handle just a little bit better. Starts to get maneuvered more, and Deacon, you get into like a much better angle Goodbye. Goodbye. Have sweet dreams.
Bye.
Night.
So Phoebe, your dad is now piloting the ship. What are you doing?
I'm gonna kind of look to him and be like, "Do you need me to do anything, or any help, or what are you doing?"
Somebody's got to fly this thing, kiddo. I got it.
All right. Do you
There's
need
Ash
like?
on the floor. Have you broken him?
Yeah.
I-
Ash walks off mumbling something about Mr. Coffee.
Well,
Fair enough. Yeah, I guess if it seems like he's all good up here, then Phoebe's gonna travel back down and see if Liam or Deacon need anything. She's
Okay.
at this point kind of looking like a lost puppy, wanting to help, but
I just want to help.
yeah, I think if you come to where we are at, Liam will be
Mhm.
like, yeah, if you could keep an eye on Deacon and make sure he doesn't get too trigger happy. Watch, like, monitor his vitals, make sure he's not
Right.
too jumpy on that trigger.
Like-
Flatline ice cold.
Nap relief straight to the jugular. Not again. All right, so I will say that with Susanna and Liam's help, you can get 2 extra dice. What is your plan here? You just gonna open fire on them, or?
Well, how many of them are there? Like, I mean, I guess, do we have any kind of like heat sensor, some way I can differentiate targets? Or are they all being pulled up on a HUD for me? How's that all laid out?
So it's basically just like because I don't remember the exact weapon you bought. But basically, the way that I envisioned it is this is like one of those like World War II kind of like belly guns where you kind of got glass all around you,
Nice.
you know, with like the weapon sticking out. So
Are we hovering or strafing?
hovering.
James? Okay, we're hovering. All right.
But he's on the comm with you, and he's like, "You tell me what you need, I'll make it happen."
Well, then I guess we're gonna first of all hit the dude with the RPG. That would be our first target. Is like concentrated fire around that particular individual.
Mhm.
And then from there, I assume this is their ship. Like, I'm getting the impression they're trying to hijack the cargo.
So it looks like from just your initial evaluation, and this is for everybody, is that this group has hijacked the entire ship, and they are trying to take the cargo off of the ship and make off with it.
Okay.
Nick it, as Junifer would say.
All right. Well, then I will definitely concentrate fire on the individuals on the ground, not the ship on the ground.
Okay.
And I will give deference to I'm not trying to hit the cargo containers. Like, I
Right.
am not just from the hit. With main concentration being around gentlemen with the RPG.
That is a wonderful idea.
Is there just the
Um,
one RPG?
It does look like there's only one person with the RPG. Yeah.
Okay.
I know you had written it here somewhere.
I think we had a 25 millimeter Gatling gun. Is that? No, maybe not.
I was
That's
reading
one
back
thing I do
through,
not want to-
Yeah, I was reading through your notes. I was like, maybe it says on there, but yeah, I don't
Unfortunately
remember
not.
either.
Yeah. Was that last session?
Yeah.
Yes. I had it written down somewhere. I just can't remember.
Well, you tried to delete your character, so
Yeah.
yeah, I really don't remember. So just
Oh,
go ahead
offensive
and,
armaments. It couldn't have been too expensive. Light railgun turret.
There you go. That's
Because all the others are in like the 20 millions. This one's 1.5. That sounds about right for
Yeah.
what we
Yeah.
were.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you get no bonuses, but you do 3 damage per hit.
Okay.
You also have armor piercing.
Okay, and any special number, or am I just rolling range combat?
It'd be agility, range combat.
Okay. And you said I get 2 extras from the help.
Yep.
We are rolling 10 dice. I have 3 successes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the initial person that you were aiming for with the RPG explodes into red mist because this is meant for vehicular combat, not combat on a person.
Yeah, fun thing about railguns, you just gotta get close.
It's the weirdest thing. So that person kind of detonates. Because of that, the one loading the RPG drops it. The RPG, with the roll of 1 from chat, detonates, and 3 of them in 3 of them in the area get blasted into body parts. And then
Combo kill.
you said you had 2 more successes after that, right? You had 3 total.
3 total.
All right. So yeah, 2 more just get ridiculously annihilated. And seeing that this is not going to go in their favor, the rest of the militia just kind of like scatter and start running through the alleyways in the streets.
Oh.
I think there's like a channel, right, that we're all on with like comms and stuff. And I think Liam poses the question to the channel: do you think they'll value ruthlessness more?
Well, if we let some of them get away, they'll probably come back for more at some other time. And presuming that Mr. De Laurentiis uses this equipment or shipyard or whatever, I would imagine that if we are able to destroy some of his potential enemies, that might give us a bonus.
I think you're right.
Nothing like negative reinforcement.
James,
Mhm.
James, pursue the largest group.
Dang!
Give me the angle.
Last episode, waterboarding. This episode,
Yeah.
mass murder.
not mass murder.
We are insurgents.
Just regular
Not,
murder. Got
no, we're not going with that.
Does anyone else want to negotiate?
Oh,
So
oh,
the ship
no.
comes about, and like, kind of like the front of it, like a helicopter would, the front kind of dips down a little bit as it heads along following the largest group. You may go ahead and take more shots, but this time I need anybody who is using consoles and stuff, I need you to actually also make a roll to help out, since the ship is now moving.
All right.
So it's basically, I'm going to leave it up to you, like if you can justify what you want to use. Otherwise, the default will be wits and comtech.
Okay. I'm going to make an argument for wits observation because I'm essentially using the viewfinders really more so to track everything that's going on, to track who's the bad guys running and who's just random civilians that we're going past and stuff like that.
Perfect. I'd love that. Yeah,
Cool.
that's great. Anybody else?
I think I'm also still stressed. Yeah, I've still got 1 stress point. Don't know when that was from.
Would Phoebe have detected that?
Good question.
think-
I don't know.
Because you were kind of monitoring the crew's vitals, right?
Yeah.
That was what
Okay.
you were doing. So, like, yeah, I guess you would have to. Phoebe's having to run around the whole ship.
Phoebe just like slowly pops up on camera. Is like, never leave. It's just like,
I think that's actually all she has to like relieve stress right now. I need to look through the book and see if there's more things that I can get. But yeah, I mean,
Stress gives you like a bonus in the situation anyway. Like, yes, it can pan out badly, but as long as you're not too stressed, it's just a bonus with not too much risk of anything going too bad, right?
right.
Because the
Okay.
panic table doesn't get real bad until you start building up several levels of stress, I think. So,
Which we can also like. I'm not sure. I know they've come out with a couple extra books, but I think that was for the next edition. Am I right on that one, Tim? Like,
You
there,
would know with the books better than I would as far as the game.
there have
Oh,
been
okay.
2 more books, and they're getting ready to come out with a new edition.
okay, so that it was Matt I was talking with. Sorry about that. Because I'm wondering if they have like a medical only kind of book. But
know.
if that's going to be for the next edition. So anyway, I digress. My point here is that we can create things, Phoebe. So like, if you wanted the opposite of nap relief, and you wanted to hit people with like adrenaline pens to give them a point of stress.
Really?
well then. All right. I'm for
Nice.
this.
Yeah, I think as far as what we're doing to say that we get our health dice, I think Liam has come up behind Deacon and goes like, "How is she handling?" And I imagine it's kind of like in a kind of rolling situation of how the rail gun's kind of moving, and they're going to try to use heavy machinery to kind of fine tweak the mechanical bits of this thing's kind of little apparatus it's in.
Tofu. I can't
What
with
is Tofu
you.
saying? They're talking shit. Oh, syringes filled with. Oh no.
Hey, so above table here, Sarah and Matt, you remember the pudding or the peanut butter shot?
Yeah.
Yes.
That was
Awful.
so much
Ugh.
fun.
Yeah.
It's a shot of penicillin they give you at the beginning of basic, and it
Yeah.
has like a weird sensation. They stab you in the butt with it, and it feels like they injected peanut butter in a spot in your body, and it takes a couple
Oh,
of
God.
days for it to kind of like smooth out.
Squish out.
It is.
Yeah,
Oh,
kind
God.
of. They
Really
tell you to
awful.
massage it immediately, but it hurts like hell for like the 1st
Mhm.
2-3 days.
Oh,
Uh,
God.
Will
So,
you
yeah,
accept my
thanks.
heavy machinery roll?
Yeah, thanks for bringing that up, Tofu.
So anyway, I came in and I was blasted.
Yeah.
Heavy machinery?
yeah, go for it.
Oh, I rolled 2 successes, by the way, on Wit's observation.
Perfect, thank you.
1 success on heavy machinery.
Oh, 1 success. I thought you'd be better at that.
Me too. I think it's kind of hard to work on while it's operating.
Fair enough. I'll buy that. So,
Yeah,
um,
I'm just kind of dancing around.
with that, unless Phoebe, you're gonna throw something in here real quick. Deacon, I'll give you 3 extra dice.
Woo, woo.
So many dice.
3 more successes.
That many dice and only 3. So yeah, you are
I love shooting irregulars in the morning.
tearing. You just don't lead them as much. You're just lighting them up. And thanks to Susanna, you are actually narrowly, but you are missing civilians. So pretty much everybody is running in the streets now. And it kind of becomes a little hard to differentiate them at this point. But you've pretty much gotten
We've
rid
made
of.
our point.
Yeah, there's only like 2 left.
Gotta leave somebody to tell the story.
That is a
Yeah,
good point.
we're not exactly sure their motivations either. They could be friendly later down the line. Well, not now, but could have been on the same side at one point, or they could have been a rival contractor. Who knows?
I'm sure they were just desperate civilians.
True. Could have been.
Well, if that was the case, should we have shot them all?
Nah.
Too late now. Let's go pick up our packages.
Well,
Landis,
you
quick
didn't
game.
shoot 2 of them.
Two's alright. They can't
Right.
even lift the packages now.
Again, James turns the ship around, takes you all
Cannot
back.
press the button if you disable his hand.
He's hovering over top of the area, and yeah, you see the drop ship down below with all the crates and everything. You do see some of them are significantly larger, but they're marked with the same kind of corporation logos that you saw from before. Just a lovely smattering of all the different corporations.
All right, Deacon will take Overwatch.
I guess Liam goes to onload these things.
Do you need help unloading, or should I also stand guard?
I think Liam's like, if you could check the condition, make sure we don't got any breach in this thing, you know.
I can certainly do that.
Do we want to open up one before we start loading them on board?
Did
Considering the
the
situation, I'd be afraid to do that, just in case more of them come back. You know, they went to get their friends or whatever.
Fair.
above the table, did the contract say anything about deliver unopened or anything like that? Like it
Nope.
didn't specify. Okay.
It did not.
All right. I guess we can see how tightly sealed they are.
Mm. Or at least like putting them in the what's that one area where you just
The
you can
airlock?
yeet things off of?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, the airlock.
Place you
Sorry.
can eat. That's perfect. I love that.
The yeet lock.
I just like
Yeet
I couldn't think of what it was called.
We're 100% spray painting yeet above the button.
Yeah. It literally like carved into the metal, like with a
Oh,
knife.
man.
It just says
Yep.
yeet.
Yeet.
I think
Yep,
Rosfini
that area.
actually asked, should we keep it in the area where we go yeet? They are still operating on no sleep. So
You know, yeah. Like,
It's like spray painted above the airlock on the outside of the ship. So it just says yeet.
yeah. I think Liam's like, no, it's a good idea. Like, what can fit in the airlock, we'll leave in the airlock for
Mm.
yeetability. And he kind of looks and smiles at Phoebe.
she gives
So-
him nugs.
Pound it.
Maximum yeetability. James kind of circles around a few times and then comes over the comms and says, "So, slight problem. I don't have anywhere to land." I
How
can get you down closer, so it's not as far of a drop, but I can't land this thing.
How far away is the closest place you can land?
You hear some typing, and he's like, "Looks like it'd be about an hour walk."
Fuck.
Do we have what do you call them? Like a golf buggy type of thing? Like, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Do we have like an ATV or anything?
I think that was part of the buy list. But it's hard to say.
Yeah, I don't think we got the full APC, but we got the one below that.
I think I remember that because we were looking at the military APC, and it was like, no, we can't afford that.
And we did it for this situation too, because we figured we'd have to move things or run fast on wheels.
Mm.
Yeah. Ray, would you be okay with us saying that we got it?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I found my notebook. Okay.
Everybody get in. Let's eat.
All right. I think.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Will
So if,
will the packages that we need to pick up fit in the vehicle that we have? Or is this going to be a multi-trip situation?
I'll say that with some creative packing, you can you can get it all to fit on there.
Susanna is excellent at Tetris. She's a fucking nerd through and through.
Hell
and
yeah.
I think Liam can drive this APC because it's heavy machinery, and they've got that skill.
Don't suppose any of you can fly that drop ship?
Ha!
Fly, sure.
Land?
Not so much.
Oh god. 1 second.
So fair. Oh, that's brilliant. Oh yes.
Have a nice day.
Please keep all hands and feet inside the.
Yeah. Yep.
Prepare for liftoff in 5, 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, if
Uh-oh.
Oh no. Everybody's leaving.
Did he fully drop, or is it just a stutter?
He looks frozen. He's
Yeah.
been muted.
Oh no. The internet gods are not on his side this evening.
Oh dear. Yeah, we don't
Power
need a
just went
GM.
out.
Oh no.
Oh, that's not good.
Shit.
It's about an hour and 8 minutes. I think Ray would usually end it.
Yeah.
Do we want to?
Oh, okay. The power is back, but everything has to boot back up.
Okay.
All right. So I think
Um,
we're good to go.
Anybody have any good anecdotes?
Not
Really?
currently.
Honestly.
And that's lights out, folks. Have a good night.
That's all. folks.
None of us have control over like a be right back screen, do we? It's all right.
No, Tofu would be the only one with those powers,
Oh no.
and I don't think she does StreamYard.
So
For
we'll just
Ray.
tell this narratively. You know, we all get in the rover. We hop out of the ship. We get it all loaded up. There's no problems. We just drive
dang.
We head back to
down.
the ship and we take off. No issues whatsoever.
Yeah,
We win.
And once again, W.
Ray's power went out. He's starting it back up now. But
Can you juggle, Phoebe?
Heck yeah. I'm sure my dad taught me that a time or two, you know.
Oy.
How's chat doing though? What's up, chat?
Yeah, is it a little too black watery now? I need chat's opinion on this. Have we gone too evil on the contracting? Let us know. Feedback value.
Yeah, that is a good question. We are turning into an evil party, aren't we? Kind of.
A little bit.
Morally ambiguous would be what I would choose. I mean, it's
Yeah,
evil.
but we've
More
talked
evil
about it as a
than-
group a little bit, and we would like the party or the chat's input, I think, of how evil is too evil.
Mm.
Yeah. Oy.
Although, if it was Susanna talking, she would make an argument for ruthless rather than evil as being the descriptor that applies
Yeah.
here.
Like,
Decisive. You know.
Yeah, we don't enjoy the acts that we do. They're just purposeful,
Mm.
decisive decisions.
Hmm.
It's a numbers game. You know, we're trying to save planets,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah,
That's
literally.
literally true. Yeah.
Yeah.
What are a few bystanders?
I don't think there's no. It is evil. We got to say it's evil, but it's
I
like
mean, yeah.
yeah, but it's. I would just not want anyone to lose enjoyment in the show as a whole, as long as we
Yeah.
could all
Mm.
still laugh about it.
Yeah, above the table talk.
Yeah.
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 If we're
Yeah.
getting a little too dark with the whole just willy nilly ending
War
line.
crimes.
Mm.
Yeah. If it's for a show and watching characters get a little dark sided could be interesting, but we wouldn't want anyone to actually be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
For sure.
So on a
Agreed.
scale of 1 to 10, 1 being kitty soft paws, and 10 being Johnny the homicidal maniac. Excellent. That's what I like to see.
Oh my.
No.
That escalated a
Perfect.
little.
Genocide is in, boys.
Oh, Schmeiser.
Oh,
Well then.
All right.
yeah.
Oh.
No, but like for sure, if you guys have opinions, let us know. We always
And again-
value what chat's saying.
Yeah, the man with the plan is
Yay.
back.
Welcome back.
Did you all win again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, we had that conversation. We did.
Sucks
in
that you
fact.
missed it.
Yeah.
We did break the fourth wall as well.
Oh
Yeah.
no!
yeah.
Whatever shall we do? Yeah,
This is
sorry about
actually
that.
our show now.
Oh. All right. Well, I'm just gonna.
We are the DM now.
Tofu is the alien queen,
Oh,
and
what a twist!
And genocide is on the table. We decided.
They're apparently cool with it.
All right.
it's not
well,
a genocide. It's not
I'm
a
just
genocide,
gonna-
it's a morph.
yeet myself on out of here then.
Oh.
Yeah, I was just sitting here. Everything's going cool, and then the whole apartment just pitch black
Oh,
Oh,
for
no.
like 3 seconds, and then everything came back on. I was like, "Cool, great, that's perfect for a live stream. Awesome." Anyway,
Mm.
It
so James lands the ship. You all have the vehicular, heavy
Vehicle.
heavy machinery for Liam to drive
Oh.
that. Deacon, were you going to try and pilot the dropship?
Oh, absolutely not. We shouldn't. We don't want to die. That was a joke. Zero
Okay.
piloting.
Fair
Zero.
enough.
Yeah, I was
yeah,
gonna
but you
say.
have high agility.
Well,
I
that's
also have zero piloting.
I also have zero piloting.
But how much agility do you have?
see, it's a good thing I
I've-
didn't pilot because I just rolled the
See?
dice to see what would have happened, and it wouldn't.
I
that's-
mean, Phoebe has been feeling kind of like I need to help somewhere. So I mean, sure, why not? She'll
Yeah.
hop in there. She's trying to follow her dad's
I can
footsteps.
do this. I can drive.
I am going to push the roll. I failed my heavy machinery check, and I think maybe there's a moment where buying a budget ATV was not the right choice, and it's not operating quite as well.
Percussive
so-
maintenance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's definitely some of that going on, and we got a success.
There it is.
Hey.
Yeah,
All
but
right.
I now have a stress.
Don't we all?
I don't.
Fair.
What I did was pretty cathartic.
We
So, what is Deacon doing with all of this? Are you going to stay on the ship with James? Are you?
Well, if my idea was to do Overwatch, but since we're getting off in the vehicle, I'm essentially just gun out, making sure nobody's messing with us while we load up and drive.
Okay. And Phoebe, what are you doing?
So wait, where does the dropship come into play? Sorry, like because we have the vehicle that we're loading everything up on, right, and driving. And so, do we still need the dropship? Or
You never really needed it.
oh,
It-
so there's
it
just
would've-
one there, kind of thing.
Yeah.
I thought it was like it got blown out of the sky situation. I didn't
Maybe
think
it
was-
did.
But there could be evidence or information because this is a company dropship, right?
Yeah.
Is it big enough to get the vehicle onto? Like, I'm not entirely sure how big
That
this
it is not.
No, okay. Does this thing? Do I know if it's equipped with like any weapons? Like, can I see it from the outside?
So from looking at it from the outside earlier, you all did see a Gatling gun and a rocket launcher.
Hmm. I think Phoebe's gonna kind of like nudge Deacon and be like, "Hey, I mean, we could provide like coverage from the air. I can hopefully buy this thing, and maybe we keep the other folks away from Liam and Susanna as they drive."
Overwatch from the air is just as good as Overwatch on the ground, if not better. If you think you can fly it, let's get on this baby.
Well, I won't know until I try.
Oh boy.
Not
so-
Black Hawk Down, the sequel.
Oh,
So I assume that we get on this thing. What do we see when we enter the dropship?
no. Yeah.
Like, what's the state?
So it does look like it was hijacked, but it looks like the militants or militia stole it from one of the landing ports. So it looks to be in pretty good condition.
Hell yeah. And then he goes to the piloting area. The cockpit. Sorry. The
Perfect.
words are like completely brain dumping, but it works. Phoebe
Words
is
are
not
hard.
asleep.
Okay, we
Yeah.
understand.
I'm just playing into the character, That's what we'll go with.
Right.
A big red button that says easy on it.
Hell
Just
yeah.
avoid the big red button that says yeet and we're good.
Mhm.
Perfect. All right. So what? Deacon, you came on there with me.
Yep.
right.
Deacon's looking for firing controls, I guess.
Fantastic. All right. What do I need to do to try and fly this thing?
Agility and piloting. Deacon,
Luckily,
you
my
find the
agility's-
weapons controls, and because this is a looks like a repurposed Colonial Marine dropship, and so it has a 25 millimeter Gatling gun, a Banshee 70 unguided rocket launcher. It has a payload of 7 Hellhound 2 tactical missiles and 3 Headlock air-to-air missiles.
Jeez.
Excellent.
What are the good and bad rolls again? I forgot. It's been a minute.
Good or
one,
6,
bad.
bad or 1.
Oh, thank God. Okay, so I got 1 6. I forgot that I had 2 stress, so I added the stress die, but none of them are 1s, so just 1 6. So
That's a success.
All right. With a success, you fire this thing up and it starts picking up off the ground. From here, it's pretty much just like, moving the controls to make it go in a direction. That's, easy-ish to figure out.
Intuitive, if you will.
Right. Susanna and Liam, you succeed in packing up the ground vehicle. Susanna, give me wits and observation because you said you were checking the packages.
Absolutely.
I
Am
imagine
I
there's
still
a
stressed
scene.
or Did Phoebe do something, or we still are keeping the stress, right?
Yeah, because I know you were saying that it kind of gives you like an extra die and whatnot. So I just
Yep. Sweet. Just checking. Motherfucker! I just rolled 12 dice. Guess how many sixes I got?
1.
Assuming
None.
0.
Big bad
Favorite.
zero.
Push the roll.
Motherfucker. Okay. So to push the roll, I have to make a justification for why I'm pushing it, right?
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean,
Is that
Sure.
right? Or...
I mean, you pushed the roll because you failed the roll. But narratively, if you wanted to like explain how you're trying harder,
I have a I have both in my gear. I have both a motion tracker and an electronic canary. The electronic canary, when air levels get dangerous, it lights up and emits a beeping noise. So I'm going to use both of those things to kind of do a scan just to see if I can, for instance, if there's any gas leakage out of any of these packages or anything like that. Hopefully that's picked up by the electronic canary. Yeah. In other words, it's not just a visual inspection now. I'm using tech to help.
okay.
Sweet.
All right. Now, you lot behave.
All of you
That's
to
better.
dice jail.
We've got 2 successes now, so we're good.
All right.
Hell yeah.
All
1
right.
second, I left my freezer open. 1 second.
Oh no! Oh no! All right. So, Susanna, with that roll, you're able to, kind of look through these. You see a lot of the packages or crates, I should say, are still sealed in original condition. Looks like the scavengers hadn't gotten into them yet. There are a fair amount though that kind of have been raided already, and they're just kind of empty crates at this point. But the ones that you are able to get, they all have some really nice stuff in them. And like they've got like the shipping labels on the side, so you can just kind of like glance and see what's in there. Some examples are an incinerator unit. There's a cutting torch that is experimental. It's like research and development kind of stuff. You see personal med kits, but it's labeled as advanced. And then there's a few other things, but the big ticket item, I'll say, is a device called the Apollo. That is a acronym. Not entirely sure what the acronym is for, but this is mainly used on ships that have like synthetics. That like if you had a whole crew of just synthetic peoples, it helps to pilot the ship and like automate the ship. It's kind of like an AI, kind of like Mother, but it's not quite as intelligent.
As far as the contract that we took, does that contract cover all of the crates that we currently have, or is it a subset of them? It's everything?
Yep, it's covering everything that you're finding.
Okay. What percentage of the stuff is destroyed that we won't be able to fulfill, just out of curiosity?
I mean, I would say like 5%. It's a very
okay.
low percentage.
Okay.
So you're able to like put all this stuff on. Everything's looking good, and Liam can roll to get you all out of there. And Phoebe is like, you can see the ship's not, Perfect. Deacon's probably getting a little seasick.
2 successes.
Yay!
All right.
Yay, I could drive.
Want to see me do a wheelie? So you are able to return to the ship where James is hanging out waiting. And you all are able to very easily head back to where the loading dock is that Mr. De Laurentiis is hanging out at. So Phoebe, this is the other part I need you to roll for. Landing.
Okay.
So Deacon, I don't know if there's any way that you can assist in this.
You got this, kid. I believe in you.
Bardic
Moral support.
inspiration.
Yeah.
I actually got 1 success again, which is pretty dope, even with my
Nice.
stress die. So
All
Yeah.
right. So yeah, you are able to land the ship, and James lands the ship pretty much right next to you, and all of you see like workers come out and they start like, looking at things and waiting for y'all to do what you need to do, and of course, following up, standing at the top of the ramp leading up into his main ship, you see Mr. De Laurentiis, and of course he lights another cigarette and he actually starts strolling down to meet you all.
I think Liam kind of looks at Susanna and like out of a pouch on his hip kind of pulls up the wrench again. Be like, are we doing it again? Or and just
Not yet.
Not yet.
drops the wrench back in and just keeps doing what they were doing.
All right, who's going to take point here, given that we still have no party face?
I think
I guess Laurentis is gonna choose for us because we're all sort of just standing there.
Liam
work
is
there.
there, right? Like Liam is handling the boxes and maybe discussing things with people he knows about moving these boxes. So if he's walking over to where the loading is happening, I think Liam's the one on the spot.
The other 3 of us take a step back.
Yeah, like
Yeah, I think
So,
it's that moment where he does the wrench, and then by the time he kind of looks back to see where Mr. De Laurentiis is, he's there.
so he walks up and kind of assesses all of you, and he's like, so are you the one in charge of this crew?
Yes.
All right. He holds out a cred stick. He's like, here's your 10 grand.
It kind of takes it, but in a way that it keeps looking at him in the face. I think Liam has like common sense decorum and goes like, appreciate it. Puts it in a pocket.
I trust it wasn't too much trouble.
No, not at all.
All right. Gotta say, I've never seen your faces taking any of these jobs. You all new to the scene? Looking for something in particular?
Yeah, I think we're fresh to the work, but we're not inexperienced.
Do you have any moral limitations?
I think we'd have to hear more about the limitations first, but we're a little more money driven around here.
Fantastic. He holds out his hand like to shake yours.
Liam holds out his hand and shakes his hand.
Well, I just might be needing your services in the future. You all gonna stick around this planet for another day or two, or you heading out?
I think we'll stay here for another day or two, as long as the work's lucrative.
Well, As long as you don't ask a whole lot of questions, I can make sure that happens.
Yeah, sounds good. You'll just have to, you know where to find us. You know where to. I think he kind of like stumbles up, like, yeah, you know where we're at.
Sounds fantastic. Is there anything out of these crates that you might want? Because honestly, a lot of this, I'm not even interested in.
That's very generous. I'll have to get with my science officers. And I think he says it kind of loud, waiting for Susanna to kind of pop up out of nowhere. Because he knows Susanna was looking at the crates very thoroughly. So he's... Yeah.
Sure. I'll step up. Susanna Garcia, science officer. We haven't had the chance to have this conversation as a crew yet, unfortunately. How long do you need us before we make this decision?
I'm here pretty much all the time. We're not scheduled to leave for another 4 days. So I guess you have until then.
Do you need work where you're heading?
We're actually going to be going to a pickup location. We do some odd jobs for a science corporation that kind of pops up every now and again.
Yeah. All right. Well, the money's good. We'll be there. And I think Liam, like halfway through the conversation, started like a paranoid thought of like, is this guy a robot? And is paying attention so closely.
Give me wits observation.
2 dice.
Can I help with that? Because while the guy was talking to me briefly, that would have given Liam the chance to have a better look at him without being watched, I guess.
Yay!
Yeah, I'd buy that.
Okay.
No successes.
Oh.
Womp womp.
Nope. Seems human enough for you.
All right. I think just like we definitely appreciate the offer. We'll look into the crew and see what our exact needs are.
Sure,
And,
sure.
Yeah.
Think it over. Let me know. Like I said, we'll be here for about 4 days. So do what you need to do. And one of the workers comes up and he's like, I don't know where he is, Mr. De Laurentiis. I looked everywhere for him. I cannot find Jeff. De Laurentiis takes like a kind of a long drag and he's like, guess I'm going to be shopping for a new logistics officer too. And that's where we're gonna...
How unfortunate.
That's where we're going to end tonight's episode. Thank you all very much for joining us. Thank you to this amazing cast of creatives. You all keep it so pleasant every time, even when you're causing mass destruction. It's awesome every time. But I really do appreciate all of you joining us, and thank you to chat for all that you have done tonight. Your roles and your commentary have definitely kept things entertaining, so thank you for sticking around. Let me see if I have it written down here for what show's coming up next. Looks like tomorrow is Glimmering Pines, ran by G9. That is
Nice.
It's a unique take on Glitter Hearts, where all of the players are magical kids at a magical summer camp. So lots of fun.
Percy Jackson?
Right?
So opposite of where we're at.
The exact opposite. And I'm here for
Doesn't have to
Yeah.
be.
Oh,
True.
good.
True. I mean, in the last episode, I did get kids to fight each other with sticks for candy. So yeah, probably not wrong. But we will see you all next time on Aliens, the tabletop RPG. Later, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
It's time for the credits. Hey, thanks for watching. We really had a blast. Everything we do really gets us through. Join our Discord to play along. Together we are so strong. You can stand the QR with your phone. Hang with us, and you'll never be alone. So thanks again for watching. We hope you keep the chaos coming. Here at Shattered Tabletop Gaming. Shattered Tabletop Gaming. Join our Discord. It's time for the credits. Hey, thanks for watching. We really had a blast. Everything you do really gets us through. Join our Discord to play along. Together, join our Discord to play along. Together we are so strong. You can scan the QR with your phone. Hang with us and you'll never be alone. Thanks again for watching. We hope you keep the chaos coming. Here at Shattered Tabletop Gaming.